Alrighty, folks, we're walking to the next location. Trying to. As you can tell, we made it to the end where I wanted to put them. So now we are walking to the other state land. It's amazing what a person can, what the grass is doing. I had to go to town yesterday for the rest of us, and I was looking at the ground as this person does as you're traveling along, and a lot of the fields and a lot of the pastures I went by yesterday look like this. Now they didn't have no animals on them yet. They haven't put their animals out yet, and their grass looked like this. Just because the last 3 years of how hard everything's been hit down. So it was very surprising to me when, like I said, all their pastures look like this, and over here where I started already, right when I started out here on this ground, is already taller than what most people's pastures are that hasn't had no animals across yet. So I mean, I've gotten a free graze. The person looks at it like that. I've gotten a free graze across it. That most other people aren't going to get, and I'm getting run over. Come on, girls. Ignore the border collie and keep walking. So, yeah, this is, I'm walking back to where I started on this field, and it's getting greener and it's getting lusher. So it really surprised me on what it was all like further west of us, and where people grazed it down to the dirt, and now we had this awesome moisture. We had more moisture this year than the last 4 put together, I think. Well, maybe not quite that much, but it's definitely a good wet spring, and people's grass is that short. It's really kind of a sad sight to see, because like I said, once I got this here stuff right now I'm walking on, this has got about a week's worth of growth on it only, and it's way taller than what the I just lost my sheep. It's way taller than what most people's pastures look like. That's quite depressing, really. Hey, shape. Bugger. Of course, they're gonna stop on the new stuff. Come on, Chip. But yeah, as you can tell, I mean, this stuff here is already, and this is and the best sad part is this is taller than what I've seen most people's pastures at. Now where they're at now, I haven't been across yet, so it's taller, but come on, Chip. There we go. Just had to do a little running around, get them legs stretched. You know, I train her. The problem is, she's about, she's 8 or 10 years old, and by the time I'd get her trained good, she wouldn't be able to do the job, so. Let's see if I get them coming to me. They keep getting distracted by this green alfalfa, which I don't blame them none. That stupid ram, I was watching him yesterday, and that's what he does. I don't think he's got worms or nothing. He just goes and picks out the ripest stuff that his system can't handle. I gotta get him through this fence here. And it's very discouraging. The bugger's gonna kill himself because he's not too damn selective. Come on, Chip! Hey, Chip! Hey, Chip! Scooby! Come on, Scooby, get out of the way. Right. Scooby! Okay, everybody see the corner. Let's see if we keep him coming. Scooby, move your butt. Let's see how well these dogs walk, huh? Oh, walk right on your feet. I know that much. Scooby, you want to help? Get in the back. So yeah, the grass is coming in fairly decent out here. This gets hayed every year, so don't expect this to do too much on this grass, but it's still doing better than what I've seen before. As you can tell, they're all pretty decent about coming along, even with the dog pretending to be a herder. Scooby, don't make me tie you up and put you in the truck, girl. Walk. Scooby. Keep them coming here. Brother and uncle, they're picking up the netting, bringing the four-wheeler and all that stuff, so I guess I'm gonna have to put these two pups on some tired drags. Yesterday when it rained, yesterday morning after it rained, sheep, I let them out to move them there right close, and they decided to go on a runabout, but I got them back. By the time I got them back, puppies did. Of course, I was in a hurry to get to town, so I gotta get them puppies on a drag or something so they stick with the sheep, because I let them out together and they'll just take off back to the farmhouse. Hey sheep, hey sheep, Scooby, hey sheep. Scooby, come here, Scooby. Trying to take my times for that broke leg one. You know, we're just kind of walking them over here. They're doing what they're doing. We'll get them over here eventually. So, like GW right now, you know, he's good. He's just ahead of the flock, he's not running off. As you can tell, he's just down here. If he scares up a deer or something, I'm sure he'll take after it, but for the most part, he's staying. You know, he's scouting ahead for the flock. Hey, sheep! Brother caught up with the four-wheeler. So I can't wait to start improving this ground. Well, we have started, but I can't wait to start seeing the improvements take effect out here. It's gonna be so exciting. So we'll see how that plays out. Hey, shit! Hey, shit! You know, these girls, all in all, they're leading around pretty decent with the bucket. We're just going right up here. So, almost made it. So I got permission to graze this field here, which I didn't know if I'd be able to get earlier this year. So that's where they're going right now. About 28 acres here that I can get them through, which should be, I don't know, a couple weeks, depending on if I graze the top of the hillside or not. I might just graze down the better stuff and get them here, but and there go pups. Hey, you better go get the pups. Hey, shape. Come on, Chip. Come on, Chip. As you can tell, there's some of that alfalfa in that ground. That's looking pretty good. That's where the sheep are going to go after I get them across this other field out there. So they'll be in, about that time. That stuff will be chest high on them. About that probably. So they'll be really enjoying what they get. Hey, shape. Come on, shape. Scooby, come here. Now. Hey, shape. Scooby, come here. Dogs don't listen. Scooby! Scooby! Hey, shit! Hey, shit! Come on, girls! Come on! Shape! It's getting long enough now that they're getting distracted on the food. Once we get him out here on this field, then I can, start putting up the fence and all that. I wanted to graze across this because there's a lot of dead in it, because I haven't touched it in the last 3 years. That being said, the forage out here, I got more cover down. That alfalfa's plenty tall already, so I gotta get him here. Alrighty, folks, so we got him down here in this corner. Now I'm just dragging the dog kennel and solar panel and all that here in the truck. We'll get it down here. They should be happy where they're getting put now. This is the bottom ground from where it's farmed all the time up on top of that hill. It all washed down in here, so this is prime stuff for these girls. So they'll be really enjoying that here, which is great for, we should start lambing out end of the month, 1st of June. Might be a little sooner than that, but shouldn't be by too much sooner than that. So we're gonna go ahead and get this out there and get the netting up. There, we got it. The sheep are where they belong. They got plenty good amount of foraging here. The border collie did manage to grab onto one, it looks like, but she'll be all right. Got broke legs laying down there resting up. It's probably a pretty good move for her. But yeah, there's 28 acres here on this now. So it goes up and over that hill and down that way. So it's from here to that coulee that way, about 28 acres on here. With this good, we planted this field in the spring of 21. Nothing's been on it since then. Hasn't been hayed, hasn't done nothing on it since then because there's the drought. I rolled the dead down last year with it, or tried to. The roller really didn't work for that purpose, But as you can see, there's quite a bit of dead out here. But what's awesome is look at this alfalfa out here. Okay, that's, you know, that's that tall. I'd say that's about 10 inches right there in some of this better spot. And I think it'd average out probably about 9 out through here. And in this bottom, it average out 9 in this bottom. Up there on that top, it's probably only about 5.5 or 6, just because of how the clay is, the ground. See, we don't have no biology out here in this ground, which is why my brother and I, we're doing what we're doing. We're wanting to improve the ground and become grass farmers, and the sheep and livestock, really, that's just a byproduct of being grass farmers, you know. So it had a pretty good soak in here last night again, so my boots are wet, which is awesome. Out here it's gonna be pretty great, and it's actually even looking like we might get a thunderhead rollover again. So, but this forage here, they'll I don't think I'll have to give him poly on this one. It's getting tall enough now, and it's getting to be dense enough out here. I think that this will hold them off. I'm gonna see what they do to it today, and then I'll go from I'll adapt from there, because I don't want to give them too terribly much where they're not, they're just selective grazing at that point. They all turn into that bonehead right there, and they'll get green backsides where keep them tight. They eat what they eat here, and they do that. GW's feeling a spunk. So everybody's happy. I'm happy. Just I'm ecstatic how well this grass and alfalfa's coming in out here. It's gonna be awesome. We get this all cleaned up. There's not much dead standing in it, and we're only gonna graze this field once, and that'll be depending on exactly what I do in the lighter spots, that could be 2 to 3 weeks just across this. Yeah, just across this 30 acres. So, and then we'd go straight across the road here to where there's 70 acres of the same mix that we planted. There's gonna be 70 acres of this here, this is also, it's looking really good. Filling in nice. I mean, it's awesome. You can almost just record my boots walking through this grass and getting wet just because of the moisture. But there's 70 acres here, and once we get through this field and get through this 70 acres, I should have my fence up out back on that 160, 170 right there. And that's also going to be, I have 100 acres of cover crop mix that I'm literally just waiting on the phone call to come in, say he's got it in stock, so I can take off and go get it, so I can put it in the ground. But I've been held off here a couple days on that, and that's starting to get a little annoying. Once we get this place firing on all cylinders, we have money. We're definitely buying our seed in the fall, so we're ready to go in the spring, and not trying to get it like everybody else does in the springtime. Because I would have loved to have it planted about 10 days ago. But yeah, so once we get through this field, that out back should have some really nice tall standing rye in it. Some let's see, I bought some purple top radish, purple top turnips, daikon radish, some flax I think is in there. I was just gonna do buckwheat and ryegrass, but he found 60 acres of this other mix that someone stuck him with last year, and he wasn't able to get sold. So I was like, yeah, well, if you think it'll work in that if you think it'll work with that rye and that buckwheat, let's just throw it in there. So that's what he's doing. We're gonna mix that in. I got so it's gonna be like a 5 or 7 way mix. I can't exactly remember what was all in it. Which is great. It's definitely better than just a 2-way mix. So ecstatic about that. Eventually, though, I'm gonna be doing 13-way mixes, averaged probably. But that's what's gonna be so fun about the cover crops and planting forage like that. Is you always got options and you can always experiment with it. So, but you know, I think I'm gonna do a talk on that in another video on what we're wanting to do on that. So, sheep are here. They're happy. They're eating. I have a few that are looking pretty fat and sassy, like this one here. I'm guessing there's let's see, where's the other one at? We got, I guess she's right there. The brown one, this one right here in front, which I call Longhorn. Buckethead right out there in the middle, right, that one there. It's gonna be one of those 3, I bet, that has their lambs first. But I mean, this is my first time going into this, so I really got no idea or no clue. I'm hoping it's a good lambing year, and that, you know, I got a lot of runts last fall from a guy, just to try to get hooves on the ground to try to better ourselves here, and we'll see. There's gonna be some, you know, it's gonna be kind of like a one-shot deal on some of these girls. You know, if they didn't breed up or they don't have a lamb, that's kind of their way of saying that they don't want to be here. So, yeah. I hope we tried to fix, you know, that broken leg on that one. Hopefully she's in lamb, but I hope she starts using that leg here pretty soon. She's keeping it up in the air, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. If she don't have a lamb, she's gonna go to the freezer camp, because I don't like to see animals have to limp around like that. And the only reason I didn't put her in the freezer when I first seen her is because she's, you know, I thought she could possibly have a lamb, and I didn't want to kill her for that. So we'll see. If she has a lamb, you know, great. And if she don't, well, I mean, it'll be the end of her suffering. So, which is nice. I mean, I don't like to see animals suffer. That's why we splinted it and we put that on there, but she's not using it, so I don't really know. You know, I'd have thought it'd be about long enough now that she'd start limping on it. But I haven't really seen her do that lately. But now today, of course, was a nice long move, so, you know, she's probably hurting and tired, so that could be an excuse for that. But, so yeah, we're out here. They're good. It's a good day in Montana. Y'all have a good one.